Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of the Tensai Morning Show with Chris. I'm here this morning for us to discuss again, and I have a little bit of kata, but I knew I was definitely gonna be here. So, how are you guys doing? How are you doing today? Hope you're great. Just let me know in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know if you're excited for today's edition. Today's topic is very simplistic, and I'm going to be doing an explanation. It's going to be like I'm going to talk about how we assess 500 plus kids a year. Actually, that 500 is a is a is a way of trying to be humble because in a month we typically do around on good months we typically do around maybe 90-ish assessments a month. So when you times that by 12, obviously that tells you a lot. But then other times you can do like 50, you can do like 40. But at the end of the day, it's 500. We do 500 plus in a year. Welcome, welcome. Wow, from Ojibwe. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about something interesting. We're going to be talking about how we assess 500 kids in a year. And this is something that is going to definitely change your perception as to why it is important. Because most people think that assessments are just tests. They feel like, oh, they are just like tests, where you just run a sample and boom, everything comes out. Not really. They're like an X-ray for your child's brain, right? Let me tell you first of all how we came about this. So before now, when people came to us and they were like, "Oh, my child is this, my child is that," we typically didn't even care to say, "Let's go and test. Let's know what's going on." We take the parents' word for it, and then we start internally. We now start um dilly dally. We're like, "Oh, okay, this parent said that this is it. So should we try this and see if it works?" So we're doing a lot of blind testing, a lot of blind spots, and it affected our result. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a results person. I value results. In fact, everything that we do at Tensai is geared for results. If I'm not getting results, I feel like I'm a failure. I feel like I'm failing at that thing. And so it was very important for me to make sure that we were able to get results. But the fact that we didn't know exactly what was the constraint was giving me a lot of headaches. Was giving me a lot of headaches. And so one day I was just thinking out loud. I was with my team and I was just thinking, I was like, what if we don't just take these parents' words anymore? What if we don't just take what they say that their children are going through? What if we actually know before we even begin? What if we knew exactly what was the problem and we had a plan on how to solve that problem? What if we knew already? And that was what sparked the idea of starting our program with assessment. And now there is no child in the Tensai School of Geniuses that has not been assessed. In fact, we assess and reassess and reassess because at every given time, there's always something else to see. So we bulk it up for every term. Once a term has passed, we assess the child again to know where they are at that point so that we know what our next line of action is. right? And so these assessments, they give us insane insight into your child's brain. Let me show you what we actually do. We don't give marks. It's not a pass or fail. It's not a random. There is summative. There is summative tests. These are summative tests are the kind that your child writes in an exam, right? There are those that, oh, they write the exam, there's pass or fail, like is it total. Then there's the assessment that is done continuously. That's more or less where we focus on. And what we look for in this test, we are looking for foundational skills. Foundational skills. When parents come to us, they're like, oh, my child is struggling with reading, my child cannot read, blah, 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 blah. But then when we look at the assessment, when we assess the child, we can now check if this child actually has the foundational skills, because most parents, they come from that point of, oh, this child is in grade 2, he's not doing well in grade 2, therefore you need to fix what is happening in grade 2. But most of the time, the problem is that the child has foundational gaps of nursery 2. And so that same child that is in nursery, that has that foundational gaps of nursery 2, cannot obviously function in primary 2. Why? Because the level is not there yet. The level is not there. And so we measure these foundational skills, we measure their numeracy, we measure their literacy, we measure their comprehension, we measure their critical thinking, and we measure their processing speed. So something called brain processing speed. So brain processing speed is like how long it takes for you to get something. So if I say something and you get it immediately, boom, you have a very fast processing speed. If I say something and it takes you a while for you to sit with it and understand it, then you have an okay. If you don't even understand at all and you need someone else to probably explain to you again, then of course you have a subpar in terms of like the speed, right? And so we don't just do we do more of, we show you where your child is currently right now, where your child is right now versus where they should be, and we give you a map. We give you a map. We show you exactly, okay, this is where your child is right now. This is what you have to do to bring them up to speed, to the point where this is where you want them to be, or to get to. Right? And 8 out of 10 children that we assess, this is a very interesting statistics. 8 out of 10 of kids that we assess have at least one significant gap that their parents did not know about. We've assessed children. There's a child we assessed. This boy has continuously been coming first. The parents still brought him for assessment because he felt like, let me anything that concerns. After we were done, and we were discussing the results of the assessment with the parent. The parent was in shock. She couldn't believe. She was like, oh, yes, I've noticed this. Yes, I've noticed that. Yes, I've noticed that. But this kid, I mean, according to all ramifications, he was doing well. But there were gaps that if that boy had left that class and maybe went to another class, he would have drastically withdrawn and his grades would pummel as a result of that. So there are, of course, there are some that when they already even probably know already what the challenge is, and then when they come for the assessment, it's more or less like to confirm their fears on what they already knew. But statistically, 8 out of 10, they have to do that. Then the remaining 2 over 10 are those that do very well. Like they even probably even have more depth than the parents actually recognizes. There is a child that we assessed, and the parents did not know that she literally had a genius in her hands because of the depth of capacity that that child has. And that's why this assessment is so important, because you don't even know. You don't know. The child, you could be looking at your lens or the lens of your child from an ordinary lens. So is it not a Mecca? Is it not a Chiso? Is it not Aisha? Nothing. You don't know. All right, let's get into the 3 most common gaps. Let's get into the 3 most common gaps that we find. Number 1 is foundational numeracy. Foundational numeracy means that your child can do math, but they don't understand numbers. Does it make sense? Your child can do maths, but they don't understand numbers. Like they memorize procedures without understanding concepts. This is as a result of our teaching method in school because we focus more on recall rather than internalization. Because you cannot internalize what you don't understand. However, in school, it's more or less about are you able to solve this particular equation, this particular thing? If you can't give me back, then good. But it doesn't really cover the depth of the concept. And that is why that child cannot recreate it elsewhere. The child cannot recreate it elsewhere. The child cannot take it elsewhere. Right? Then the second one is reading comprehension. When a child can read words out aloud but cannot tell you what the paragraph means, they can decode. They can decode. They can read words out aloud. You see this a lot with foreign children. They can talk, but if you ask them what they mean, what they meant, they can't answer you. Then the last one is critical thinking, which is they can answer questions that they've seen before, but they can't solve new problems. Why? Because they don't even understand how the problems be, right? What came about it, so they can replicate it. And as I'm saying this, some of you can relate. You know this about your child, right? Does this sound like something that you've seen happen with your child before? Now, most parents come in thinking that their child is lazy or not trying. Then they see the results and they realize that, oh, my child has been fighting a battle I did not know existed. They go from, oh, my child is the problem to my child has a problem I can help solve. Because when you now see what the problem is, then and then can you now fix it? Because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, which is why it is important now. And this is a shameless plug. Please book your child for one of our assessments. It's going to help you more than it's going to help me. It's going to help you more than it's going to help me. I'll try and put the link in the description of this video so that you can do it if you want to. Right? One parent brought her daughter in. She was skeptical. She kept saying, "Oh, my daughter needs to try harder." But after the assessment, she started crying. She really was crying. She said she has been shouting at this girl for 2 years to try harder, and the whole time she was trying. She was trying, right? And so, drop a comment below. Drop a comment and tell me what surprised you the most. Drop a comment and tell me what this session has done for you, like what it has shown you. It has shown you that your child that mostly that you are looking at, and you are thinking that, oh, this child is not trying harder. Maybe there's something more. So tell me if this makes sense. Tell me if this has made sense. If this has provided you clarity. Tell me this has provided with clarity. Our next session is going to be on Monday. And on Monday, we're going to be talking about 3 signs that your child needs more structure at home. Structure is such a big issue. It's such a big case. We're going to be talking about it. And these are the 3 signs that your child needs more structure. And we're also going to show you exactly how to do that. We're also going to show you exactly how to do that so that when you know this, it will help you a lot. Right? If you learned something today, drop a comment below and tell me what surprised you the most. I'm going to read every single one. Right? And as I promised, I'm going to drop the link to book an assessment if you want in the chat. So you can go ahead and do that. Congratulations on staying to the end. I'm reading this outro part because I've not mastered it. You know, we just said it. So congratulations on staying to the end. If this helped you, then share this video with one of your loved ones. Okay? See you in the next one. Have an amazing weekend and happy Easter, everyone. Have a happy Good Friday.